In a film defined by war and brutality, why does this opening farmhouse scene make your skin crawl before a single shot is fired? It's just a polite Nazi officer, a farmer, and a glass of milk, but everything is at stake. And what is it about this quiet, tense conversation that makes it one of the most unforgettable openings in modern cinema? Why does one quiet conversation over a glass of milk still make our skin crawl? And why did it change everything about Inglourious Basterds before the title even appeared? We remember the scene as intense, but why does it stay with us? What makes it such a game changer for the rest of the movie? A peaceful farmhouse, a polite Nazi officer, a simple glass of milk. What follows isn't just a conversation, it's one of the most chilling scenes in modern film. It grabs you by the nerves and doesn't let go. Inglourious Basterds, written and directed by Quentin Tarantino, isn't your average war film. It rewrites history with bold style. But before the big action and revenge plot kicks in, Tarantino gives us something deeper, a slow, scary and unforgettable opening scene. This farmhouse scene doesn't just start the story, it defines it. From the moment Hans Lander sits down at the table, we realise this movie will not play by the usual rules. As Tarantino himself admitted, if I hadn't have found Christoph, I'd have probably pulled the plug on the movie. I wouldn't have made it. Without this opening and without Waltz, the film itself may never have existed. This isn't just an opening, it's a warning. What you're about to see won't go the way you expect. So why did Tarantino start Inglourious Basterds with such a quiet, slow-burning scene, and why did it hit audiences so hard in 2009? The scene is full of tension, but understanding when and why the film was made adds even more meaning. In 2009, movies about World War II usually showed big battles and brave soldiers, but the world was also asking deeper questions about justice, power and truth. Tarantino gave us a war film that didn't just show violence, it showed how violence starts. He explained his approach clearly. I wanted to stay away from all of the silly war movie cliches that I never bought into. Most war films open loud with gunfire and chaos. Tarantino does the opposite. He opens with a conversation. No explosions, no actions, just words. That makes it feel more real and more dangerous. Tarantino loves dialogue, tension, and surprising moments. Here he blends the style of a western, a stage play, and a thriller, all in one room. This scene told the audience, this is not the kind of war movie you're used to. It's more personal, more unpredictable, more haunting. So what choices did Tarantino make to turn a simple talk into one of the most tense scenes ever filmed? We felt the suspense, but what exactly made it work? The farmhouse looks peaceful, it feels calm. That's what makes it scary. The open windows, the clean table, the jug of milk. They all hide the danger underneath. The camera slowly pushes in on faces, especially the farmers. We see his fear building. The shots are tight, making us feel trapped with him. The scene also takes its time. Long silences, slow replies. Every second adds more pressure. We keep waiting for something to explode. There's barely any music. We hear footsteps, glass clinks, and the scratch of Lander's pen. These small sounds feel huge. When music does come in during Shoshana's escape, it hits hard. Tarantino hides the truth until just the right moment. The Jewish family is under the floor. Now we know, and that makes everything more intense. As he put it, I thought it could be more horrifyingly realistic if you didn't see the blood. I was experimenting with modes of suspense. Every little choice builds a slow creeping fear. We're not just watching the farmer's fear, we're sharing it. So what is this scene really about, and what does it say about power and fear? It's not just about Nazis, it's about how evil hides in plain sight. Hans Lander is scary because he's polite, he smiles, he talks nicely, but under that charm he's doing something truly evil. That's the point. Evil doesn't always shout. sometimes it smiles. As Christoph Waltz explained, what makes him so intriguing is exactly that. He's not driven by an ideology. Milk usually means purity or safety, but here it's creepy. Lander drinking milk shows he's in control. The wooden floor hides a secret, and that secret is life or death. This scene shows how power can be used to control people without violence, just through words and fear. It makes us wonder, what would we do in the farmer's place? The scene makes us uncomfortable in the best way. It shows how easily people can be pressured to stay silent, and how fear can turn good people into bystanders. So how does this scene compare to other famous movie interrogations, and why is it so unforgettable? We've seen scenes like this before, but why does this one feel different? Think of the Joker scene with Batman in The Dark Knight. That scene is loud and intense. This one is the opposite, quiet and calm. Both show a villain who's always one step ahead. In many war films, Nazis are shown as brutal and obvious, but Lander is smart, polite and funny. That's what makes him so dangerous. He doesn't look like a villain until it's too late. Tarantino himself compared it to his earlier work. The scene is like a reduced Reservoir Dogs, but with Nazis and in German. The scene sticks with us because it builds fear in a new way. No shouting, no guns, just a smile, a story, and the slow crush of power. So is this scene too clever for its own good, and does it make evil seem too entertaining? Some people say Tarantino's villains are too fun to watch, but is that a problem? Some viewers worry that Lander is too charming, that by making him funny and interesting, the film risks making him likable. But Waltz resisted playing him as a stock Nazi villain, saying, "It's so boring and easy to say, well, this is the Nazi villain." So I disregarded that aspect altogether. But that's the point. The scene isn't saying Lander is cool, it's showing how evil can pretend to be normal and how we might fall for it. The scene's charm is part of its trap, and when we fall for it, we feel what the characters feel, tricked. That's what makes the message even stronger. So why does this opening scene stay with us, and how does it change the whole movie? We think of Inglourious Basterds as a revenge film, but this scene shows it's something deeper. The farmhouse scene isn't just an intro, it's a promise. It tells us this story will be full of danger, surprise and moral questions. It sets the tone for everything that follows. When Shosanna runs through the field escaping Lander's trap, we feel breathless. We've just watched a slow, careful horror, and we know this movie won't hold back. This film isn't just about killing Nazis, it's about stories, who tells them, who controls them, and what they leave out. And Tarantino tells us that right away, before the title even appears. As he put it, I like the idea that it's the power of cinema that fights the Nazis, not even as a metaphor, as a literal reality. This scene doesn't just change the film, it changes us, because the scariest part isn't Lander's gun, it's his grin, and the way we can't stop watching him anyway.